What's up, guys? My name is Heston Madonna, coming to you from Hotspot Photography and Designs. So, in today's video, actually, guys, this is my first video on YouTube ever for Hotspot Photography. I do have other YouTube channels, but this is my first channel for Hotspot Photography and Designs. So, in this video, I just want to show you my process of editing my pictures after I've taken them. So this picture was shot at ISO 100. It was shot with a 50mm lens at f1.8. The shutter speed was 1/100 of a second, and this is the result I got, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and do my normal processing when I do my editing. So on the left side, I've got some presets here. The one in particular that I want you guys to look at is this pitch black. This is really nice. If you want to do black and white, I suggest doing something like this instead of just converting. If you go to the right, instead of just converting the image to black and white, it doesn't really pop as it should. So I'm using this preset instead. So let me know what you guys think of that particular look if you look at it this way. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do the editing. First thing I'm going to adjust is my white balance. I'm not really, I always say that white balance it's a creative choice. It depends what you want to see, or really what you want to achieve by adjusting the white balance. So in this case, I feel like this image is a bit on the cooler side, so I'm just gonna adjust here, and that's perfectly fine for me. I can go a bit more, and then after adjusting my white balance, I'm going to come here to the highlights, and I'm not gonna touch the contrast. The contrast and the exposure. For now, I'm only gonna adjust the highlights. Just bring it a bit down, and then I open up the shadows a bit, and I decrease my whites. And I don't have a particular number here for this editing. I just go until I see what I want to see. You understand? So in this case, I want to add a little bit of contrast by reducing the blacks, pushing it to the left side, and that's perfectly fine for me. But as you can see now, the image already looks like it's already going somewhere. So on the clarity slider, I'm going to edit +2, and here I don't go above 20 unless the image is really flat. So for me, 20 is fine. And then what I'm doing now is I'm going to the tone curve just to add a little bit of contrast. I'm going to put my middle point there and just take the highlights up ever so slightly, and I'm bringing this point down right here, just enough so it does pop a bit. So then I'm going to my exposure, increase the contrast a bit, and I'm totally fine with the contrast as it is. And I'm coming to my HSL. I really want to take the blues to the left side a bit, and then increase the, and then just darkening a bit. By the way, guys, if you are a beginner and you don't know what hue, saturation and luminance is, basically the hue is a slider for a shade of blue. Which shade of blue are you going for? That's what the hue is doing. Let's say now we are going for a darker blue or whatever, so that's what the hue is for. The saturation is how much of that shade, and the luminance is simply, to brighten the color or to darken the color that you are targeting. So in this case, I realized that we do have like a little bit of aquas there, so I just want to darken it. And then when I'm doing this, I'm actually now targeting this particular area. I'm targeting the sky there, so that we can have like, for this image I'm not going to go into color grading. I'm going to come to the details tab here. But I'm not done actually on the HSL color tab, so I just want to reduce the yellow, the oranges a bit, so that we can have a nice type of skin tone there. By the way, the oranges and the reds is where your skin tones basically is most of the time. For me, most of the time it's in the oranges, but there is a little bit of red in the skin tones. If we can see, if we can look at the image now as I'm toggling this slider, there is a little bit of red in the skin tones. So most of the time it's here for me where I find this skin tones. And I don't know, there's a little bit of feels like there is some. Okay, this is what we got so far. So I was pressing Y on my keyboard to open up the before and after tab. Now we can switch actually from if you go up here to view and before after, you can actually click here and then you'll see this before and after. There's also a mode, I believe, that you can toggle to. Yeah, this is the one, split screen. So this is what we had and this is what we have now. This is what we got so far. I feel like we are still a bit too much in the orange side, so I'm going to come here, the white balance, and just reduce a bit so that we can actually have a nice image. And the clarity slider here, the reason I'm using that clarity slider here, it's got to do with my details tab. So I want to, the clarity adds a bit of sharpness, so but you can't add too much clarity. Let me just go back there and just show you what the clarity really does when you pull it too much. So normally I would leave it at 2, and then I'm going to my sharpness here. My sharpness, I'm going to go to +60, and I'm coming here at the masking tab, and then I'm holding Alt or Option on a Mac. So I'm clicking, and then it gives me a white image. So when I when I move the slider to the right now, you can see now actually where the sharpening is happening. So this is what you want to do. You press Alt and then you click on the slider and then you drag it so that you can actually see where the sharpening is happening. That way you can really focus the sharpening process. We were shooting here at ISO 100, so there's no need for noise reduction, and this was outdoors in a bright sunlight, so there's really no need for noise reduction. So I'm coming to the lens correction tab and I'm clicking remove chromatic aberration and enable profile corrections. So as you can see, Lightroom already detected that I'm shooting with 50mm f1.8 STM, and now I'm going down just to eliminate this particular corners. As you can see, there's a little bit of, it's almost like a vignetting. So it's not almost like a vignetting, it is like a vignetting. So I'm just bringing it out there, so it's about, yeah, I think about there is fine. Like I said, guys, I don't have a particular number when it comes to the sliders. And then I'm going to add this vignette manually. So now we are focusing the image to our subjects, and then we can increase the feathering so it happens nicely. Yeah, so the calibration tab I'm not going to touch this time, so I'm totally happy with the edit that we have now. And yeah, I mean it's pretty good. As if you look at the before and after, you can see where we're coming from, and then now this is what we got. So yeah, guys, I'm going to actually, just by the way, if you are interested, there's a shortcut for full screen view. It's you pressed on the F key and then it goes into full screen view, and you press the F key again to exit the full screen view. So that's what we have. By the way, guys, yeah, shortcuts, another shortcut that we can try. Let's use this image and then we come to this one and we press shift on the keyboard and we click to select both those 4 pictures. If you would like to, you know, go into a mode where you can only see the selected files, you press N on the keyboard. You can press L to just dim the lights, or you can totally switch off the lights on the other side, you know, so that you can basically focus on the pictures that you've selected. This is kind of also my way of, you know, sending my clients some previews when I'm not sure which one they would like to choose or something like that. Yeah, but then you can press L again to bring the lights on again, and then, you know, you just go back to the develop mode, the develop tab, to just and by the way, as we have selected this now, okay, let me just select one of these images, and then I'm going to paste these settings now on this image by clicking on previous. This option right here, it's just copying the settings from the previous image to this image. If we now press previous, we will see that the settings just went from this image to this image, and so we can do with all the other pictures that we have. Like this one, we can also use this setting. So like it's almost like copy and paste. So say for instance now you want to copy and paste, you press Ctrl Shift and then you press C, and then you will get this options to select the adjustments that you want to copy. So in this case, most of this I want to copy. As you can see, there's a masking option also, but we don't have any mask right now, so we're just gonna copy as it is, and then press copy. To paste, we're gonna press Ctrl Shift and then V, and then it's pasting the settings now. So that's how you can copy your settings from one image to the other image. Yeah, but guys, this is just a basic editing. So let's look for instance at this image. I can totally do this on a you know, give it a different look, but you don't want to do that with the client's work. You understand? You want to keep the consistency. If you start with an edit, let the other images also look the same. You know, don't jump between edits. You know, this picture look like this and then the other one is different. But I'm just showing you basically we can really make this thing go on to another dimension with the grading. So this one I'm going to make it a bit dramatic. So this is what we do. We go to 2 and then we go to 20 on the vibrance slider. We're not gonna touch the tone curve right now because I already added a lot of contrast there, and we already added contrast with a black slider as well. So for now we are going to the tone curve, no, not tone curve, the HSL tab, and we want to, you know, just bring down the oranges and making it lighter so that the skin tones can pop. And after that I'm going to go to color grading, you know, and really get into, this is the mid-tones, so we want the mid-tones to be in the orange. I think that's about right, yeah. And then this is the luminance slider, so we want to, as you can see, this is the luminance slider, so it makes the color that we targeted lighter or darker. So, and then I'm going to the shadows. I'm really now going for that the orange and teal look, or teal and orange, how I'm not sure how it's really pronounced. I tend to leave the slider or this wheel alone because it's fine where it is now. So I'm just trying to blend the colors and then do the balancing. Do we want it more bluish or more orange? We can just, yeah, we can leave it about 20. And then I'm going to this slider, I'm going to 60 on the sharpening, and then again pressing Alt and clicking, then I'm dragging the slider to target my sharpening. That's it, because you really want to target where you are placing your sharpening, where the sharpening is happening. And then I'm going to open up that veneer thing, and I'm going to on the effects tab, going to decrease so that we get that vignetting back. But this time we want it like we don't want the vignetting of the lens to decide how our vignette looks. We want this to be okay. Let's then go into the masking section here. So the shortcut for masking is Shift W, and then we select the subject, because we really want to control now what the background is doing, and we want the subject to pop. We don't want the subject to blend into the background, we want the subject to pop. This is taking a minute, so we're gonna wait for it until it selected the subject. So yeah, let's wait for it. It's refining the results now. We're gonna wait for it. By the way, guys, please subscribe to this channel if you want more information like this, and if this video helped you, just like the video for me, please. It helps so much. So now it's selected the subject very nicely, but we don't want to really work with the subject, so we're gonna invert the selection by pressing here. We're gonna invert the selection, and then we are really going to now go down on the exposure a bit to make this image a bit dramatic. We want to come a bit on the white balance, and then we want to really not have so much contrast in the background. So this is like I'm now just desaturated, but that's also looking nice. So this is what I basically do when I want to control the background and stuff like that, because we don't always have the best backgrounds here. As you can see now, yeah. Yes. So already this image now for me, let's have a look at the before and after. You see what we had, and now this is what we got. So this is kind of that. It's teal and orange, or orange and teal, however you want to call it. Yeah, so we're gonna, I think the skin tones, it's still too much for me, so I'm just gonna go back on the saturation and go into the mask, and then just increase the saturation just to make up for that the because we don't want the background to also lose some of that saturation, because most of the background it's almost like orange. So this is it, guys. I hope this video helped you, and I really hope that you're gonna subscribe to the channel and support me, as I'm still rising from the dust, because this is my first video and there is going to be more like this. excuse me for my my tabs. It's always a mess here. It's always a mess here, so I need to start closing these tabs after I'm done. Yeah guys, so let's quickly look at the color grading here. This is without the color grading, and this is with the color grading. So it really gives it that film look that we see in this Hollywood movies. So this is basically how you like to do the teal and orange. The color wheel is really giving us that flexibility when it comes to the color grading of the image. So this is it guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay well.